Hey guys, and welcome to AMC's Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Chris Lee Kennedy, and this is the show that brings you the day's biggest movie news with insight into what it all means. Joining me, as always, is AMC Movie News senior editor, John Campia.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, John. And also we have joining us today the director of the upcoming film, The ABCs of Death, John Schnepp. John, how are you?
Well, it's me and 25 other dudes, but you know it's coming out in a month. So come see all of it.
All of it. All right, perfect. Today we're going to get things started with this. On yesterday's AMC Movie Talk, we discussed the story of Joseph Gordon-Levitt being considered for the role of Star-Lord in the upcoming Marvel superhero film, The Guardians of the Galaxy. John, you mentioned that you weren't loving the idea of Levitt playing either Star-Lord or Batman. This sparked over 1,600 comments on our AMC Facebook post, with hundreds of people expressing that Levitt couldn't possibly be Batman because The Dark Knight Rises told us he's actually Robin. So, is Joseph Gordon-Levitt Robin at the end of Dark Knight Rises?
All right, let me spread enlightenment here. I had so many arguments with so many people after The Dark Knight Rises on this issue. I said, number one, Bruce, at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Dark Knight Rises yet.
Spoilers!
But I said at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, Bruce Wayne is no longer Batman. He's done. And that they set it up where Joseph Gordon-Levitt was becoming the new Batman. And I had friends of mine, perfect strangers. You mentioned all the posts on Facebook. I got emails sent directly to me, chastising me, saying, he can't be Batman. He was Robin. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was Robin. So on the question of, was Joseph Gordon-Levitt Robin? No, he was not Robin in the least. Now let me present for you my argument about why Joseph Gordon-Levitt is not Robin. It's not even close that he's Robin, and here's why. Yes, near the end of the film, the clerk at the city office does say to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, oh, it says here your legal first name is Robin. Okay, yes. But I've argued for months now that was just Christopher Nolan, who said the whole time that he would never put a Robin in his movies, in any of the Batman films. That was just Christopher Nolan kind of tipping his cap to the fans of Batman, saying, look, I put in a reference. But still, people would argue with me, no, he's Robin, and Bruce Wayne is still Batman, he's going to come back, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to be Robin. So here's the thing. First of all, let's start with this. Here are some facts about Robin. First of all, Robin's real name is not Robin. Robin's real name, he's a character by the name of Dick Grayson. Now, Dick Grayson was adopted by Bruce Wayne at the age of 10. 10, when his acrobat family was murdered by gangsters or some foreign European dictator. It depends on which comic series you're reading. Dick Grayson stops being Robin and becomes the new superhero Nightwing at the age of 18. There have been 3 other regular Robins. Jason Todd, who was the Robin that got murdered by the Joker, in that iconic image of Batman holding the broken body of Robin. That was Jason Todd. Tim Drake.
That's after Crisis.
Yes. Tim Drake, who's been Robin for a long time. And recently, Bruce Wayne's real biological son, Damian Wayne, who is the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, is currently the new Robin. Now, there have been a couple of female characters along the way who've temporarily here and there worn a Robin outfit, but for all arguments, there have been 4 Robins. But when you talk about Robin, basically you're talking about Dick Grayson. All right? Now, let's look at some facts about The Dark Knight Rises. First of all, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character's name is not Dick Grayson. He is not a 10-year-old orphan of an acrobat murdered family. He is a 31-year-old Gotham police officer by the name of John Blake. Not Robin. Also, a running theme in The Dark Knight Rises throughout the film was that anybody can be Batman. That was one of the things that they kept on trying to preach throughout the movie. Anybody can be Batman, kind of setting up that Bruce Wayne wasn't going to be Batman for long. One of the main scenes in the movie is the actor Thomas Lennon as Bruce Wayne's doctor, basically telling Bruce Wayne his body is destroyed. Scar tissue on kidneys, no cartilage left anywhere, permanent concussion damage on his brain. Later, his back is broken. I mean, basically, he can't function anymore. Alfred tells Bruce that he wants him to retire. He wants him to retire as Batman and go off to some French place where I can see you across the way in a cafe, which is what happens at the end of the movie. And then ultimately Bruce Wayne fakes his own death at the end of the film and leaves Gotham. Gone. He's finished. He's not Joseph Gordon-Levitt is not Dick Grayson. He is not a 10-year-old acrobat child. At the end of the film, we see Bruce Wayne doing what Alfred said he wanted him to do, which is retire, leave Gotham behind, and go and start a new regular life. But still, some people would argue with me. Well, here's the ultimate nail in this coffin, that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is not Robin. Christopher Nolan himself, in a report that on NBC News, reporting on an interview that Christopher Nolan did, here's a couple of quotes from that piece on NBC News. Nolan wasn't suggesting that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was the Boy Wonder or Nightwing. His name was just coincidentally Robin as a nod to the famous character. He was no more than John Blake. Then they go on and quote Christopher Nolan. It's a wink at the audience, tells Nolan. I think what we endeavored to do was not the complete story of Batman, but the complete story of Bruce Wayne. In other words, by the end of The Dark Knight Rises, Bruce Wayne is done. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's gonna be the new Batman. And so on and so forth. So, no, folks, he was not Robin. He wasn't even, Christopher Nolan wasn't even trying to suggest he was Robin. He very plainly said, look, he's John Blake. He's a 31-year-old cop. Anybody can be Batman. Bruce is retired and moved away. We've completed his story. And at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, Christopher Nolan is just saying, even though there's not going to be any more Batman films from him, he was just saying, the Batman goes on, even though it's not Bruce Wayne. So, Schnepp, you just heard me ramble on and on and on and on. What do you think? Am I crazy? Do you think he was Robin? Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, he was totally Robin. Completely. No way. No way. Yeah. How can even anyone even think that? Like that's so insane. Yes, he's Robin. Remember, they said his name was Robin. It's like, what? It makes no sense. He's Batman. That's what they're saying. He becomes the new Batman. It can't be more simple than him showing up at the very end at the cave of Batman.
Yeah.
That's it. It's in the movie. They're telling you. They basically say, this guy's going to become Batman. Here, he's switching masks. If I was Bruce Wayne, I'd bust out of Gotham to hang out with Anne Hathaway. Come on. He's like, yeah, I still have tons of millions, and I'm hanging out with her. Bye. Yeah, here's this cape. Fight crime, dude. You got the Riddler. You got a whole bunch of other dudes that haven't shown up yet. So, he's Batman. Give me a break. There's no Robin. If anything, there's going to be a Nightwing kid showing up. There's no Robin. That's it. I mean, it's not even. It's silly that people freaked out or have been freaking out about this. If you simply watch the movie, whether you love the movie or you hated the movie, it's the simple fact that his name as a kid was Robin, and it was a tip of the hat, and that's it. He's not Robin. He's not going to be in a yellow cape in a movie called Robin Becoming Batman in 2014. It's not happening. No matter how much you want it to happen, all you Robin lovers, it's not happening. Sorry, that's it.
So there you go. Definitively, he ain't Robin.
And
you had some people tweeting you last night, too.
I did. I totally did. I had people tweeting me saying the same thing. It's totally Robin. He's going to be Robin. He's not going to be Batman. I mean...
Nope. No, he wasn't.
So. I have one last thing to say. Just watch the movie again, especially all you people who love Dark Knight Rises. Watch the movie again, just the ending, and then see if you really think that he's Robin. After all the stuff that you just heard John Campea say, and what I just said, and watch the movie again, and then tell me he's Robin. Then check yourself into the funny farm. You need help.
I like that we're giving our listeners homework today. All right. The aforementioned Marvel comic book movie that will lead directly into The Avengers 2, The Guardians of the Galaxy, is in the middle of a casting rumors frenzy. Yesterday on AMC Movie Talk, we reported that both actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zachary Levi of TV's Chucks were two of the leading candidates to play the Guardians leader, Star-Lord. Now reports are coming out that one of the stars of TV's The Office is also in the running for the role, John Krasinski. So, Schnepp, would Krasinski be a good fit for Guardians of the Galaxy?
All I got to say is The Office in space. Just kidding. No, John Krasinski is an incredible super talent. If you've seen Promised Land, he wrote it. He acts in it with Matt Damon. And he's an amazing actor, and I think anything he's in, he'll be able to take that role and transform it into something you'll like and appreciate. And I don't have any problem with him playing Star-Lord or Space Guy or
Guy.
He could do any of those characters. And if he was Universe Boy, I'd be like, yo, John Krasinski nailed it as Universe Boy. He was Universe Boy. I never had a problem with him. Also, Joseph Gordon-Levitt could play Universe Boy. I don't see why he can't be both Marvel dude and also Batman or Robin, as the weirdos want to think. So I think. Hey, look, it's just my opinion, but I think both of those guys would be awesome as Star-Lord or Squidbloward or Scrimbly or whatever. They could be a voice in Guardians of the Galaxies and totally nail it because they're both great actors. I mean, Hugh Jackman could be Rocket Raccoon, and still, if they put up all the green things on his face. I mean, if you saw Les Mis, you know what an amazing actor Hugh Jackman is. He's not just Wolverine; he's like an ultra super talent, like. Like sing, he can act. It's crazy style. So yeah, that's Krasinski totally. Why not?
Yeah, I could see Krasinski as it. I mean, to be honest, I'm really shocked. I thought Krasinski would have busted through and become a big superstar like 4 years ago. And I know he had that one little movie he did with George Clooney about football in the 1940s or whatever it was. Can't remember the name of it. That didn't really work out. And then he had that romantic comedy where he was like the girl's best friend and stuff like that. That didn't really go anywhere. And so it's kind of neat. And now he's in Promised Land with Matt Damon. I think this would be a very interesting choice. Another name that's kind of popped up, which I find interesting, is James Marsden, who played Cyclops in the X-Men films. Now, before anybody jumps up and says, well, you can't, he's already been in a Marvel type of movie. Well, yeah, Chris Evans was the Human Torch before he was Captain America. Yep. So you can do it. I still say Nathan Fillion. I don't care. I still say Nathan Fillion, but I can totally see John Krasinski. Here's an interesting one, though. A couple other names have come up about who would play Drax the Destroyer. One of the names was Isaiah Mustafa, who you better known as the Old Spice guy. Ladies, do you want this? Like he's actually being considered and talked to about the role of Drax. But the more interesting name, the guy I can totally see playing Drax the Destroyer, is David Bautista, also known as Bautista from WWE, the professional wrestler, who was just in Man with the Iron Fists. He's a giant of a man. He knows mixed martial arts. And I think he could be a pretty good fit. Schnepp, you know Guardians of the Galaxy better than I do. What would you think about either of those two guys as Drax?
Yeah, I would go with the WWE guy. Why not? I mean, or Verne Troyer.
Verne Troyer, a very different version of Drax the Destroyer.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think a lot of the casting decisions are usually. I don't get too worked up about them because I think the casting directors are making the choices that they think will work as a whole team. So they're like one person you might like. Why is that person? But then when you see the entire group together, that's why like Ruffalo as the Hulk works so great in that Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I mean, when you first heard he's the Hulk, you're like, what? But then you're like, all right, I trust Whedon. And then bam, you're like, all right, the movie's great, and he's one of the best parts of it. So I don't get too worked up about the casting stuff, except about Robin.
All right, on February 24th, the 85th Annual Academy Awards will take place. And as a part of the show, there'll be a special segment to honor the James Bond franchise, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary. John, does the Bond franchise deserve its own time slot at the Oscars?
I'm a super stickler about what they use time for in the Oscars. I say get rid of the best song category. It's a ridiculous category. Get rid of it. I don't like the amount of montages they do, except for the In Memoriam. That's always a good one to have. But I've always been very critical about what they use their time for. But Bond, yes. Look, you can count on one hand the bigger iconic names of either characters or franchises in film. It's a small, small list. James Bond has been around and doing it for 50 years. It is one of the most recognizable names, not just as Bond, but you just named the iconic guys who have played it with Sean Connery, Roger Moore. I mean, this is completely worthy. Now, I'm sure the fact that Skyfall made $1.2 billion has something to do with them honoring it. I'm pretty sure if the film had made like 100 million worldwide, they wouldn't be doing this at the Oscars this year. But I think I'm glad that they are. This is a iconic, traditional, yet modern franchise, a classic staple in film. Absolutely, I think this is completely worthy of it, and I'm glad they're doing it. What about you, Schnepp?
I look forward to seeing all of the James Bonds on stage at once.
Oh.
I think they can get Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and Daniel Craig all on stage. That would be fantastic. And I think that's what they're planning on doing, because that's worthy of a 50th anniversary. All the guys are alive. They can all get on stage. Some might not be able to walk as great as others, but they can all be on stage at the same time and be all the Bonds.
When's the last
Bonds.
When's the last time we actually saw Sean Connery? Like, I honestly, I have no idea what condition Connery's in these days. I don't know if he's playing volleyball on some retirement beach in Miami. I don't know if he's laid up. I just have no idea. But that would be awesome to see him on stage with them. That would be absolutely incredible. Well, hey, listen, folks, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for joining. But listen, before you do anything else, stop for a second and click the subscribe button. Become one of our AMC Movie News YouTube subscribers. It's totally free, and it'll keep you up to date on everything going on in the world of movie news, our editorials, and of course, our daily AMC Movie Talk show. While you're at it, become one of our followers on Twitter by going to twitter.com/AMC Theaters. Like us on Facebook. Keep up to date on a whole bunch of stuff we do, including giveaways and special promotions by going to facebook.com/AMC Theaters. As always, I'd like to thank Chrysalie. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Our special guest, John Schnepp. John, thank you.
Oh, take care.
And to you guys, thanks so much for joining us. Remember, click subscribe and join us again next week, where we will be doing our AMC Movie Talk show from Las Vegas, because the whole AMC Movie News crew is heading down up there for a New Media Expo conference, and the Consumer Electronics Show should be a lot of fun. So until next week, my name's John Campia. Bye-bye.